Welcome back to The Charge. My name is Matt Jenkins here for our November episode, and sitting in our VIP lounge is two people that I absolutely adore, and I know all of the ASU-Beebe community adores as well. It is the one and the only, the power couple of ASU-Beebe, Robin and John Hayes. I don't even know where to start with you guys because, I mean, when you think ASU-Beebe, I mean, honestly, you think of you two. So thanks for coming on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you very much.
I just selfishly, and obviously we'll talk more about this at the end. I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair had it not been for you, Robin, so many years ago in 2000, what was that? Honestly, probably know me even longer than that. Yeah. But in 2011, when you brought me on to work in the admissions office and then as a student ambassador. So honestly, now that I'm sitting here, I just say thank you for introducing ASU-Beebe to me all those years ago.
Well, thank you so much. And it was a pleasure to have you in the office. We had a remarkable ambassador program at that time. And then we had you in the summer, and we saw so much talent, and we saw so much devotion to ASU-Beebe in all of your actions, Matt. And so thank you.
Thank you. For both of you, what drew y'all to ASU-Beebe all those years ago? Because, I mean, y'all have been here since, born and raised here at Beebe. What was it, John, about ASU-Beebe? Maybe start with you and then Robin follow after that. What was it about ASU-Beebe that kind of made it different from, like, say, other community colleges, four-year institutions in Arkansas?
Well, I'm a local resident, and when I graduated from high school, my idea was to get the heck out of Beebe and get away from mom and dad. And I went to Hendricks, and I was a square peg in a round hole. And Robin and I had started dating, and I was also missed her. So I transferred back to ASU-Beebe at Christmas. And it was a lot like an extension of high school in that I knew almost everybody. And when I was here in 73, 4, and 5, there were 400 students on campus, and you knew everybody. And it was just the faculty and staff were student-oriented, even 50 years ago, and it was just a good experience. And so that's how I came to ASU-Beebe, mainly because of her, I think.
It's amazing what we do to chase women down, isn't it?
Yeah. And it stuck. We've been married 50 years now. So
50 years.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
I
love it. Robin, what about you? What was it about ASU-Beebe to you?
Well, my brother had gone to ASU-Beebe when I was still in elementary school, and I didn't know anyone else who had gone to college. There was no one in my family that had gone to college. And, I played high school basketball, and I always give the grace to Coach Jeannie Lindsay. She's the one who really, really encouraged me to play ball, and I was kind of a flop. But more than that, she wanted me to be educated and be a strong woman.
Yeah. Well, you kind of led into what I was going to be going to next. You played college basketball here when ASU-Beebe still was rocking and rolling with the basketball team. What, for both of you, you brought up Jenny Lindsay, kind of like how I said that you two embody ASU-Beebe. I don't think they're outside of y'all. She's probably right there that embodies ASU. What is it about Jenny Lindsay that kind of, you mentioned wanting to kind of pushing you to pursue your education even more than play basketball. What was it about Jenny Lindsay specifically?
Well, Coach Lindsay was looking at the big picture back in the 60s. And she loved basketball, and she loves athletics, and she still does. But she really thrives on seeing people become successful and being the kind of citizens that that everyone they're proud of.
Yeah. John, what about you?
Well, of course, I was not in athletics after high school, and I knew Jeannie growing up here. Our parents, my parents, and Jeannie and family were associated, went to church together, and all that. And so I've known her since I was a child, and wonderful lady, and she deserves all the accolades that she gets for what she's done for this college and this community.
Absolutely. And the gym's floor is named in her honor now.
Yeah.
And you completely dressed that place up with what Andrea did with that. And it's cool to immortalize her, just like how y'all are with so many different scholarships that are awarded here throughout now. The same with her as well. Before we dive into that scholarship deal with Giving Tuesday coming up, and I want to obviously talk to y'all about that, you specifically, Robin, because then you can correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of from that time when you attended here, lead me up to the point of when you became the director of admissions.
Well, after I attended ASU-Beebe, I went on to UCA, and then took a short break and we had our children, and then it was time for me to get back in the workforce. And so I went back and I finished my master's degree and started to work at UCA. And I received a phone call from Jeannie Lindsay one
of all
evening,
people.
And she said, "I know you're working full time, and I know you're at UCA, and I'm so proud of you, but we need you. I need you to teach some night classes for me." And of course, the first words out of my mouth were, "Yes, ma'am." And so after that, I was still at UCA, and then during the day, and then I taught 2 nights a week here on the Beebe campus. And then an opening in admissions came available. And once again, Jeannie Lindsay called me and told me about that and encouraged me to at least apply. And so then my journey full-time with ASU-Beebe began in the fall of 1999.
99. Wow. I was going to ask before we started recording, and I never did. So fall of 99 is when you officially came aboard here.
Uh-huh.
And then ever since then, and then retired in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's full-time. I had been here for 2 years teaching at night. But for full-time, yes, it was the fall of 99.
So outside of teaching and admissions, was that the only positions you've held here?
Yes.
Awesome. That is cool. That is cool. What was it about admissions, maybe? And which I've obviously worked in it with you and our whole cast and crew that we had over there. What was it that kind of drew you into admissions and being the director over there and kind of sowing your seeds over there?
Well, a big part of admissions is the recruitment of students. And when I say recruitment of students, I mean to give them a picture of what's available and the opportunities at ASU-Beebe and all of our campuses and centers. And so I was very heavy on the recruitment end for several years. The director of admissions was still here, Mr. James Washburn, who was a wonderful mentor to me and everyone who walked through his doors and sat at his desk as well. But I was able to, he retired, and in 2005, I was fortunate enough to apply and become the director of admissions. So I really began my journey back here teaching, and then on the recruitment side as a coordinator of recruitment, and then the director of admissions.
And throughout all that time, I'm sure that you guys have seen so much change here.
Yeah.
From how this campus has grown over the years and even still growing to this day. What are some of those things, John, that you probably remember from maybe even the time she started back in, you could say 99 or when you were adjunct professing and doing things here? What's been some of those like, man, I can't believe ASU-Beebe's grown into this?
Well, of course, in 99, most of the campus was not much change from now. Of course, we built the new dorms. We built the
Math and science.
Math and science building, and did a lot of remodeling. But the campus really it doesn't look like a 2-year college campus. And
I always remember that, not to cut you, I always remember that giving tours to kids, and then I would mention that, we have dorms here. We have XYZ.
No.
Not at a 2-year school in Little Beebe, Arkansas.
I've had over the years in my profession, I've had several different functions here, and people out of town and a lot of Cabot folks have come in, and they've all been extremely impressed with the facilities, and of course they go back to their communities. I hope over the years, and have said, "Man, Beebe's got a really nice campus and school."
I think that's what's so cool about, and kind of like the what you've kind of established here, and even all those times with Mr. Washburn and yourself, it's almost a default choice. And it's a great choice, John. Yeah. And you would say the same thing, that you go to Beebe High School, Searcy, Cabot, any of those area high schools, ASU-Beebe is like the top choice for a lot of these kids, the affordability of it, and all the things you get to do here on campus and student life, the dorms, the intramurals. There's all kinds of things that what makes this such an attractive option for so many kids.
It really is. And, I have said many, many times how strong the legacy of ASU-Beebe is. And I think it remains that. And more and more of our general public, I think, understand that. And I think one reason is the wonderful opportunity that we had to bring Searcy Technical Program, what used to be called Foothills, on board in the early 2000s. And then we have our center at Little Rock Air Force Base. We have that beautiful campus and wonderful dialogue with the Heber Springs community and the Cleburne County as a whole because of that campus.
And through all four of those campuses, I mean, you're touching thousands and thousands of students and in all kinds of different walks of life.
Absolutely.
Particularly here, maybe more the traditional college student here on the Beebe campus, the Searcy campus, maybe not those that may not think college is an option for them, but they can go get their automotive technical certificate or an HVAC certificate. Right. The Army or the military students at the Little Rock Air Force Base just celebrated 60 years of there. There's something about this campus that just it all just works.
Yep. It does.
And it's always going to be here.
Yes.
One thing I want to bring up as well is and you brought it up, just being so ingrained in this community as well. I mean, you both have born and raised here in Beebe. One thing I want to bring up as well is the importance. You brought up the importance of this college and what it means to both of you personally. What about the community as a whole? Because, I mean, you guys have been born and bred here in Beebe for years. Your families are here, your grandkids, everything else is here in Beebe. What is it about Beebe specifically to you guys that kind of is where you wanted to plant your roots here?
Well, like you say, we were Beebe born and raised, and I'm fifth generation Beebe, and I was just given the opportunity to make a living here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know a lot of my peers had to leave Beebe to make a living, but I loved the community and the people, and we both were just lucky to be able to stay here. I mean, it's such a wonderful community and close to things in Little Rock if you want to go to Little Rock and shop or eat. But you're also 5 minutes from being out in the country.
Exactly. So that's the part I like.
That's that's me. I mean, I came in from deer camp to do this. So
I need to thank you more for doing that, because that's why I joked before we got doing this. I said, I knew I could get Robin to do it. I'm very proud of myself that I got John to jump on here and do it as well.
Well, I'm going back to deer camp.
Robin, what about you? What is it about just the city of Beebe to you?
Well, I actually graduated from McRae High School and was raised there. And now it is conjoined. It became a part. And that was a wonderful thing to happen for the students and for the community as a whole. And the opportunities that it afforded the schools, which are very small, like McRae was. Yeah. It was a transitional time, and it kind of had to grow on the general population. But now I think it is so wonderful. And I just feel like it was one of the best things that happened to me to be a part.
I think where a lot of people would say the best things too, because you mentioned retired in 2020, even though we still can't get you off our campus. But helping out with like our new alumni board, which I knew you had kind of started it back several years ago, but now Charlotte Hall's really getting this thing off the ground. You're on our new alumni board. More stuff is coming out about that soon. What is it now, kind of like throughout all of your time now that you've spent here at ASU-Beebe, and as we sit here November 10th, 2025, as we're filming this, if you could describe ASU-Beebe to maybe a prospective student, and maybe a prospective employee that maybe wants to come work here, be an adjunct or be a faculty member, whatever it may be, how would you describe ASU-Beebe to them now?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm good at those good questions every once in a while.
You are. That's really great. And looking at that perspective from a student side or even from an employee, do you want to learn? Do you want to grow? Do you want to become that professional that you have inside of your heart, but you're not quite sure how to do that yet? Well, you can sure do it right on one of our campuses. Yep.
I think when we had Dr. Methvin on here, she kind of alluded to the same thing.
I'm going to answer the question
a
little bit differently.
Absolutely.
I mean, she answered the question like a recruiter or a director of admissions.
She still got that recruiter in her.
Right. And I grew up in a family that was educated. My mom and dad both, and brother, everybody was educated. And so it never was a question of whether I was going to college or not and get a degree and advance myself professionally. But the wonderful thing about DB is the friendliness. Mm-hmm. You're going to be home here as a student. You're not going to be just a number that or Social Security number, and known by the administration. I mean, Dr. Methvin, I'm amazed when I'm around her the number of people she knows, students she knows by name.
Ryan Gibbons brought that up during, not to interrupt you, but he brought that up during that theater performance. There's not many chancellors, if any chancellors, at any level that would probably be able to name every graduate that'll walk across the stage here in a couple weeks.
You're coming home.
Yeah.
And you're going to be happy and comfortable here as a student. Now, whether you learn or not is up to you. You know, I remember, again, my peers, I had a dear friend that got a full ride scholarship at the University of Oklahoma, and he made one semester and got booted out because of his grades. He partied too much. And so there's a seriousness to going to college. You've got to do the work.
Yep.
Or you're going to get booted out. But you're a family here. It's a family.
That's what I was going to bring up. The same thing too when the Dr. Methvin was one of our first guests on here on the show. You brought up family. It feels like, and I've even been here a little over 4 months, 5 months now, and even dating back to my time as a student, like within a week here, it felt like family here.
Yeah.
I mean, and then everybody knows me by name now, and and I feel a good rapport with Dr. Methvin and all the associate vice chancellors and everybody else. But like it's family, and I think that's the best way to describe it. You're walking into a great situation.
You know, Dr. Methvin is the chancellor, but you can speak to her in a personal manner and not be afraid to cross any boundaries. Or you certainly shouldn't, but
I get what you're saying. Like there's not like that nervousness like when you walk up and see like the governor or someone of that high stature.
Yeah, somebody of the boss.
Yeah, like she could walk in here and just have a seat right there next to you and just carry on the conversation just like everybody else.
Conversation with her, and she's a down-to-earth person. Of course, there's not many more down-to-earth places than Holly Grove, Arkansas, where she grew up.
That's true. Last couple things I want to talk to you guys about, and we're getting close to Giving Tuesday. It's the annual, International Giving Tuesday for giving, and it's one of the biggest fundraising days and giving days for ASU-Beebe. You two specifically are part of like our foundation scholarship group and have some of the longest running foundation scholarships, the RV Powell scholarship named in your honor as well. How important is it to you both to when you retired to maybe establish some of these scholarships to maybe give students a chance that may not even have the opportunity to get a scholarship or something along those lines?
Well, I think it was very, very important to both of us and into our entire family.
Yep.
The legacy of education is remarkable. And to forward that and to give that to someone else is the right thing to do.
Yeah. We've been blessed financially, and we've worked hard. You know, I worked at the same job for 40 years, and we've been blessed, and we want to share that with people. I gave a scholarship to Beebe High School for 38 years, and most of those scholarships that I awarded came to ASU-Beebe. I couldn't make them.
You're right.
But forwarding education and helping people, not just students, is important to us because of our faith, and it's what we do.
Has there been a time maybe, and we don't have to, if we don't have to like dive in super personal with it, but has there been a time where maybe you've heard back from one of those students that you may have awarded one to and be like, hey, without you guys, like this, my career probably wouldn't have happened, or this probably wouldn't have been able to happen for my family? Has there been some of those moments like maybe you hear from a former student?
We have.
Well, I'll use an example that you will know, Paul Jenkins.
I know. Yeah. I know him. I know him very well.
You know him very well, don't you?
Just aside from the last night.
Yeah. Besides, he received the shelter insurance scholarship 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I don't remember. And I got a card from him then, as I recall. And some 10 years ago, I went to see him as a vet and took my puppy dog to see him, and he said, I want to thank you again for the scholarship. It was like a $2,000 one, but yes, I've had people come up to me.
That's awesome.
And say, you know, thank you for that scholarship. It was a boost.
And and that's what makes it all worth it too.
Does,
like we're working on a project that we're doing here for Giving Tuesday, and you hear from all these students from all different walks of life. Like there was one like may have lost a family member, and all their finances went towards that, and then just that small scholarship was able to keep them kind of keep them ingrained in this community and ingrained in college to eventually finish their degree. What about you, Rod? Has there been any moments to you that's like what he was describing?
Well, yes, and I've had several conversations, and the wonderful thing is when the college began to have the award ceremonies and where you could sit with the person who actually was able to receive. We don't make that decision, but and just to hear their life story and the reasons that they chose ASU-Beebe.
Yeah.
And that has been wonderful, and we need to tell that story more.
Absolutely.
Because scholarships are very, very important for students.
What would you say maybe to the community if they're interested maybe in trying and maybe establishing or maybe giving to maybe one of y'all scholarships that you oversee, or to any scholarship for that matter, any foundation scholarship, if you're a business, community partner, whatever it may be, what would y'all say to them to encourage them that like this is the best way to kind of give back?
Well, it certainly is, and I think we do have a lot of community support, and not just in the Beebe area and Heber Springs, Searcy, Jacksonville. I think that we tell our story well wherever we are. We just need to continue to tell that story.
Absolutely.
And to newcomers, to each of the communities that we serve, each of the towns that we serve, just to continue to tell the story of the importance and the value of a 2-year education, or for that technical certificate that can take you anywhere you want to go as well.
Absolutely. As we wrap things up here, Robin, for you specifically, I mean, you spent all of your time here with 99 and then retiring in 2000. It's still even serving to this day in different capacities here. What would you, kind of selfishly for you, what would you like your legacy to be? Like when people think Robin Hayes, what would you like them to remember you as?
Oh, my. Let's see. Well, just the same,
Yeah.
just friendly, want to listen to their story.
Yep.
Want to help, want to tell my story.
Absolutely.
Just that's really what I do the best. That's really what I do the best.
John, what about you? What do you, when you look at her and her career from a spouse's perspective and seeing all the work and all the great things she did, what would you say her legacy is here?
Well, I remember coming on campus, and you could see her strutting across campus in a pair of heels, and walking from one end of the campus to the other in heels with long legs of hers, and most of the people couldn't keep up with her, and they'd drive their car to the other end of the campus. But what I would say is she was always full of energy, even though she might be worn out, and she was always full of energy, and she was always excited to tell the ASU-Beebe story, and she loves kids, and she would go out of her way to help them. And I know even to this day, people that know her and have a child or a nephew or a friend that's looking at college, she gets calls still to this day, 5 years after she retired, 5.5 years.
I was going to say she was one of my first calls when I was trying to come aboard here full time.
Exactly. And, I get calls maybe from somebody I know that maybe doesn't know her, says, I need to talk to your wife. And here. And
I could always talk.
Oh, yeah.
yes, yeah, she, I can drive cross country and say 3 words, and she talks nonstop. So.
Yeah, I love it. Last thing before we wrap this thing up, if you could describe ASU-Beebe in like maybe a word or a phrase, like ASU-Beebe is the best place to whatever, how would you describe ASU-Beebe to maybe someone that's never heard of this before?
Oh, quickly. It's the best place to grow.
I think that's the
That's
easiest
the
answer.
word that comes to my mind. It's the best place to grow, happily grow.
Yeah, I love that. I think I speak for a lot of people that are probably watching this, and I think I speak on behalf of a lot of the college here as well. Thank you for all of your service that you've done here for this school and still continue to do here for this university. And then selfishly for me as well, just thank you for introducing ASU-Beebe to me. Cause Lord knows I've been trying to get over here and I love my time here. Even after graduating in 2013 and then moved on to Arkansas Tech, I still came back and worked for the summer here.
You did, and we loved it.
So
we loved it.
It was
And
good.
We are glad to have you. Always.
It's glad to be here. And then it's kind of like you brought up the family thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here now. Like it's one. I think it's why so many people stick it out here is because it's the place to be. Like you mentioned, to kind of grow as a professional, to grow as a student, and then grow into even something more great, even something greater here. So
money's important. We all need, the financial end of a job, but happiness in the job is important
Yes.
too. And when you work at a company, a corporation, or a school, and you're happy there, that's worth a lot.
absolutely,
And this is a happy place.
tag me into that.
When you tell the story and you are happy and you can answer those questions for them, and it doesn't sound like it's just a story.
Right.
When it is your message, students listen.
Amen to that. I think that's the best way to describe it there because I've been here since June, and and it's no fault. I mean, just where in my previous work, it was go, 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 go all the time, which was fine. It was just the nature of the job. But like priorities are different and particularly now, it's just as a man, as a husband, as a father now, like it's all about that. And I think that's where, and selfishly speaking about Andrea Cole, just my superior, my boss now, I think she understands that. She gets like there's the professional time and then there's the family time as well. And marrying those two together creates, like you mentioned, the ultimate professional that can do the job well.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up for the charts. So thank you both so very much. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So beyond ever thankful for everything that you guys have done for me, not only here at ASU-Beebe, dating back to Beebe First United Methodist Church, being a part of that youth group and running around with Jesse for all those years and trying to keep up with him. And I don't know where the energy came from. So that's Robin. Do what?
It's been an honor.
That's awesome. I love you guys to death. That's Robin and John Hayes. Our next episode of the podcast of The Charge will drop in December. Courtney and I are working on something kind of special for our December episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. We want to wish all of you guys a very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you guys so much. You've been listening to The Charge, the official podcast of Arkansas State University Beebe.